Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the thriller film, The Bar. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. When they exit the pub, two unidentified snipers open fire on them in a cafe in Madrid. The remaining patrons in the bar who are still alive conclude someone in the gang is to blame as the streets are evacuated over time. It soon becomes apparent that the killings are being covered up by the authorities under the guise of a fire. Inside the cafe, everyone starts to turn on one another. A man eventually emerges from the bathroom in a dire state of illness. He collapses to the ground and mutters, "Don't touch me," before passing away as the group rallies around to comfort him. It is now apparent why the group is being quarantined: the man's illness. The shop owner, Amparo, recognizes the guy's final remarks before he passes away and separates Elena, Nacho, Trini, Sauter, and Israel from the group because he thinks they are infected because they touched the man physically. Amparo is joined by two more guys, Andres and Sergio, who think they had no physical contact with the man, and they coerce the other 5 people into going down into the cellar under the threat of being shot. The gang is far down in the cellar talking about odd stuff when Trini, who appears to be claustrophobic, starts to worry in the tiny, dark dungeon. She rushes up the cellar stairs in a state of panic, tripping and breaking many bottles as she hits the crate of bottles. After removing many pieces of cardboard, they find the grate leading to the sewer after Nacho notices the liquid from the bottle has gone down somewhere rather than pooling on the cellar floor. Despite the removal of the grate, the sewage entrance is relatively small. Israel is then covered with olive oil from oil bottles by the gang in an effort to help him squeeze through the sewer opening, but despite their best efforts, Israel is unable to do so and is instead trapped there. When they hear multiple gunshots coming from the bar upstairs, they assume the government has just stormed in and killed Amparo, Andres, and Sergio. They are terrified and make an effort to keep quiet so that no one hears them in the cellar. Then, to clean everything up or perhaps to conceal all the evidence, the government sets the bar on fire. As smoke starts to fill the cellar, the gang starts coughing. As they realize they will run out of oxygen if the fire in the bar continues and that they need the air from the sewer to circulate in the cellar, everyone pitches in to help pull Israel out of the sewer opening. Trini becomes anxious once more and tries to unlock the red-hot cellar door with her bare hands, burning herself in the process. The group goes upstairs after waiting until the government has left and discovers that the bar's inside has been set on fire and is taped up from the outside. Sergio's gun is discovered by Nacho, who picks it up and conceals it in his pants without informing the others despite the fact that it is still hot from the fire. The group eventually discovers the afflicted man's phone in the ruins of the burned-out pub, and they can infer from his text messages that he brought in what they determined to be 4 doses of the man's disease-specific vaccination that had allegedly infected the group. The other members of the group push Israel to share the vaccines he finds in the bathroom, but he reminds them that there are only enough for 4 of them, leaving one of them unprotected. Elena advises that they divide the 4 doses equally among the 5 of them, but Nacho counters that this would negate the vaccine's efficacy. Israel intentionally removes one of the doses since he doesn't want to take any chances. When the group notices this, Nacho gets the gun and orders Israel to stop, but Israel persists. Israel and Nacho get into a physical altercation out of rage. Israel, however, ultimately prevails in the fight, decisively defeats Nacho, and is able to take the pistol away from Nacho. Israel threatens the other members of the group with the gun. The remaining vaccines eventually fall into the cellar during the ensuing brawl. In her haste to retrieve it, Trini instead drops it down the sewage opening and into the sewers. Elena now disrobes to her underwear and is doused in oil in order to receive the vaccinations. She manages to slip through the sewage opening after much effort, some pain, and injuries. Despite discovering the vaccinations container, she declines to return the vaccines to the group. If she sends it up, she claims, they will utilize the immunizations among themselves and not leave any for her. The rest of the gang will have to descend to the sewer, like she did, if they want the vaccination, she explains, adding that she won't take it herself just yet. The men all take turns enlarging the sewage opening as Nacho takes a large metal pipe. Nacho, Israel, Sauter, and Trini just about make it through the narrow opening to the sewers after covering themselves with oil. Elena explores the drain a little bit while everyone else tries to descend to the sewer and hides the vaccination there. After everyone has descended into the sewers, Nacho grabs Israel out of nowhere and makes an attempt to battle with him, submerge him, and take away the gun. After the 2 men had been down for some time, the gang hears 2 gunshots and sees underwater flashes. Nacho eventually emerges from the sewage water, panting for oxygen while still holding the rifle. Who will be spared from getting vaccinated is still a concern for the group. Trini, Elena, and Sauter are afraid of Nacho because they believe he killed Israel. Additionally hostile toward them is Nacho, who threatens to shoot Sauter if Elena does not turn up the vaccines. After they are able to calm him down, Elena starts to show them the location of the vaccination she hid. It is really dark as Sauter walks there and she trips and falls into the lake. Trini drowns him, so there is no more competition for the vaccine by holding him down and forcing his head underwater. To use the light to see what is happening, Elena instructs Nacho to fire the gun. They saw Trini clutching Sauter underwater in the gunshot's glow. Trini pauses and makes an effort to defend her conduct. Nacho holds the gun to her head while threatening to shoot her, but he is eventually unable to do so. Trini now realizes the futility of her life, so she grabs the rifle from him and shoots herself to make the group's size comparable to that of the immunizations. Elena leads Sauter and Nacho to the location of the vaccine she hid. Before they can inject themselves, they hear the clinking sound of coins being tossed, so they remove the vaccines. When they return to look into it, they discover Trini's dead body with coins covering her eyes. As the three are gazing at Trini's body, a now crazed Israel emerges from the shadows, kills Sauter by hitting him in the head with a metal pipe. Elena and Nacho are being pursued by Israel via the sewers. He is mostly solely seeking Nacho because Nacho was the one who earlier engaged in combat with him and attempted to drown him. Elena and Nacho sprint for a ladder to help them climb out of the sewers. Nacho follows Elena as she begins to ascend the ladder. Israel overtakes Nacho and tries to grasp him, but Nacho is able to kick him off. Israel is rising quickly and has a firm hold of Nacho while Elena and Nacho continue to ascend. Elena accidentally flushes her vaccine dosage into the sewage during this battle. Just before Israel pulls him down the ladder and back into the sewer, killing both of them, Nacho orders her to take his hand and administers to her his dose of the vaccine. Elena is upset as she pushes open the grate and injects herself with the vaccination before emerging from the sewers and entering the streets, where she can see the bar burning down from the outside. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.